Hi, welcome to Pyography Made Easy. I'm Brenda. In this episode, I'm going to be doing another Q&A session. I haven't done one of these in a while. In this particular Q&A, I am going to address some of the complaints that I get and a couple of the more unique questions that I've gotten. So let's get started with complaint number 1. Quit posting time-lapse videos. Not everyone who watches my channel wants to learn how to do pyography, especially the people who've commissioned me to do work. They just want to see their artwork being created. My time lapses are very clearly labeled, so the easy solution to this, don't watch the time lapse. Complaint number 2. Time lapses are too fast and the viewer can't figure out what's going on. Well, that's to be expected because they're a time lapse, not a tutorial. If you want to learn how to do pyography, watch the tutorial videos. Complaint number 3. Quit burning on leather. Well, sorry, that's not going to happen. But I will state that leather is a byproduct. The cows are not killed for their hides. Complaint number 4. My difficult tutorials cover too much information, and the easy tutorials not enough. I'm not sure what to say to this one. When I'm creating the tutorials, I have to think about what I'm going to say and how to explain it, and some subjects are easier to do than others, and some things I can think of how to explain better than others. And with the more difficult tutorials, there's usually more things to explain. Also, when I have made the most improvements in my pyography is when I have tried things that are really challenging. So some of the more difficult projects that might be intimidating will hopefully be tried because there's enough explanation that makes them willing to take that chance. Well, we're done with the complaints, and now I'll cover some other comments that I've gotten and/or questions. So a comment that I've gotten on several different occasions is to incorporate more color into my projects. That's not easy for me to do. I'm not a color person, and it takes a lot of work for me to think about a project that would incorporate color, and then I have to practice coloring it 1,000 times, and that's probably not going to happen. The next comment, almost borderline complaint, is that someone wanted the real-time video, that small real-time video in the corner, to be the main video. That is not feasible. When I'm explaining the tutorial, the explanation goes along with the main video. It's not a real-time video. I got a question asking if I knew I could create memberships. Yes, I am aware that I can create memberships. To create a membership that I thought would be worthwhile, that I would consider paying for, meant I would have to have a full-time job doing that, and that just doesn't interest me. With the way things are now, if I want to go on a trip somewhere, I go on a trip. I pretty much take the summers off. If I started a membership, I would feel obligated to have to produce content even when I didn't feel like it or had other plans. That doesn't interest me. The next question is whether I was a professional teacher. No, I've never been a teacher in my life unless you want to count this YouTube channel. When I was working, I worked at a grain elevator. Now, I had been with the company for a really long time, so I ended up being the person who trained all the new ones coming in. So that really did help when it came to doing this YouTube channel. How long have I been burning? I started doing pyography in 2014. To date, I have done over 200 projects that I've bothered to keep track of, and I have well over 2,000 burn hours. Now, those hours do not include current projects that I haven't finished or demo projects that I might do for a quick tutorial. The last question is, how much money do I make on YouTube? Well, last year I made a little over $1,000. $1,063.30 to be exact. The ad money I receive is based on the ad settings. My videos are set to a skippable ad that shows before the video. If you get a non-skippable ad, that is because of YouTube, not because of me. Now back to my $1,063. That includes any super thanks. And for those who have done that, thank you very much. Now before you get jealous of my Elon Musk type of wealth I'm generating, I do have to pay taxes on that. Last year I had to pay $150. What is left over is still plenty enough to cover the cost of my website, and that was my goal with monetizing. My website cost about $350 a year. I have to pay for hosting, the SSL certificate, backup, security. So all these things are just designed to ensure that the website stays virus-free. And my website does not generate any income whatsoever. I've refused to put ads on there. Some websites that I've gone to, you read along and there's pop-ups, there's stuff on the sides. It becomes distracting and very annoying to read the article. I have left articles unread because I hated the website so much. So I keep my website very simple and free. Well, that is it for this part of the Q&A. Now I'm going to go to the projects I've finished since the last Q&A and the ones that I'm currently working on.
So you're a demon from the pits of hell. Well, that explains the sulfur smell and the scorch marks on your skin. I bet they taste a lot like sin. You look a little lost. Is this not what you expected? Welcome to the cost of all losers we've evicted. And welcome home to hell. Didn't get all that far. Did you miss the morning star? Welcome home to hell. Could have set your sights high. You tried to rise above the fire. You didn't climb up nearly as far as you fell. Welcome home to hell. Welcome home to hell. I bet you like our global warming from all the cars starting up this morning to keep everything oh so hazy, trying to hide the world gone crazy. No one seems to care as long as they get their share. Oh, it's good to be king. Does the money buy everything? Welcome home to hell. Didn't get all that far. Did you miss the morning star? Welcome home to hell. Could have set your sights high. You tried to rise above the fire. You didn't climb up nearly as far as you fell. Welcome home to hell.
Well, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.